Hello everyone, Richard Lewis back with another video, and this time we're just kind of again signal boosting an existing story that another YouTuber, who I'm sure anyone who follows my channel will know, it's Honor the Call. He got in touch with me about this story, and we just wanted to make absolutely sure that people were aware about what was going on. Honor the Call's done a lot of great work recently, most principally being involved with exposing the CSGO Lotto scandal with Team Martin not declaring ownership, and we can see that that hasn't had a very big impact on him. If you look at my last video, straight into a pyramid scheme, he straight doesn't give a fuck. He just doesn't give a fuck.
I'll rob you in front of your eyes, not asked.
Not asked. Like, now, one of the things I have noticed, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, I'm sure a lot of the people who follow my stuff are League of Legends fans, some Counter-Strike fans, obviously. I'm sure going a little bit further back, there's still one or two StarCraft fans, people who've been around esports a while. But I don't know what it is with Call of Duty, but it seems to have spawned a particular fucking breed of just greedy, literally just awful, deplorable human beings that just basically get themselves into positions of popularity by being completely fake, if we're honest about it, constantly exploiting what seems to be a very young audience in exchange for hits, in exchange for views, by being this kind of almost cartoony level of niceness and just doing things that are really, very samey, by the numbers content that seems to get lapped up by some of the younger people that play Call of Duty. And then once they hit a certain point, once they have a certain big following, they just look to fucking trade it in by any means necessary for as much money as possible. Maybe that's the end goal for all YouTubers in general. I fucking hope that wasn't the case. Certainly, I guess it's not exclusive to Call of Duty, but the fucking concentration of greed in that community just blows my fucking mind, And let's be honest, how many of these people that came in and started all these gambling websites which blighted Counter-Strike, how many of them were actually endemic and created by Counter-Strike people? Oh, yeah, fuck, hardly any of them. What a fucking surprise. Our game is still feeling the effects of shit that people like that, caused. And yeah, completely unacceptable. And I'm at a loss to explain it, honestly. But this is another example of the kind of scams you have to watch out for. So we recently signal boosted a Kickstarter, a GoFundMe page for, and that's a more appropriate thing. I shouldn't really call it Kickstarter, but obviously Kickstarter was the original kind of big crowdfunding website, but a GoFundMe for someone that suffered in the Louisiana floods, Counter-Strike player called Ruru. We signal boosted that. They smashed through their target, their modest target, and that was a great example of the community pulling together. Now, in the past, we have seen Kickstarters and Indiegogos and GoFundMes just used as a way to get one-off cash injections for people that don't really need the money, or people that want to improve their own lifestyle, or people that know they can make promises to you and in exchange for money, leverage that goodwill and basically know that they don't have to deliver because there's really nothing that holds them accountable for doing so. Once they've got the money and spent it, go fuck yourself. We see this in games development. And if people who have followed my career, they know, of course, I called this out back in like 2011 when it was happening in the StarCraft community to an absolute ridiculous degree, by the way. I wrote an article that was called The Land of Broken Promises. It was one of the things that really put me on the map as an investigative journalist and put me on the map as a consumer advocate. And this is how you know I was right. All of the people that were making money from their fucking scams and bullshit at the time literally went after me. All the big names in the StarCraft community who at the time, they were the gods of esports. Now, we all remember the Sons of StarCraft documentary and how that ended up. I think we're still waiting on other documentaries that are long since overdue. We saw things like Pizza GG, which were these stretch goals for Papa John's orders that just didn't get done in a timely fashion. We've seen other people, who were like, hey, fund our team house, like Root Gaming, fund our fucking team house and we'll do a bunch of shit. But then obviously we just do it at our own pace, at our leisure. And of course, when you give money for that kind of thing, you expect it to be, rewarded in a timely fashion. If I'm giving you something in exchange for a stretch goal, a promise, a piece of content, whatever it might be, it has to happen within living memory of the fucking donation, right? Or what was the fucking point? And like I say, this is an old scam. This is an old thing that's been going on. It's something I particularly don't like because obviously it's either a quid pro quo and one party breaks the promise, or it's just leveraging your goodwill and it's like a charitable fucking donation, and people just literally like pocket that money and they basically use you like a fucking personal bank balance. And I hate that. I hate it when you reduce your fan base to just numbers on a page. I think that's really deplorable, again, to use that word, which is very topical at the moment. Anyway, so this is about a chap called BiblicalReaper. Now, Call of Duty YouTuber. I don't really know much about him, Sam. It's not a name that rolls off the tongue.
No, I used to watch a lot of CoD YouTubers ages ago, but I think this is a new guy, based on how many subscribers he's got. So no,
yeah,
I've never heard of him.
He is a newer guy, and from what I gather from his story, from his background, this is somebody who had a pretty decent job, claimed to be making a six-figure income, and then moved away from it because he wanted to do YouTube full-time. Now, again, a lot of people... Reasonable, right? Whatever, though. A lot of people will say this. They'll say, oh, this is my passion. This is the thing I love. This is why I walked away from doing this other job over here to do this. Well, when they say things like that, there's two things to remember. A, they're either doing it because they believe the potential for earnings are a lot higher than what they were earning in a regular job. B, regular jobs very often suck. I've had them. Sam, you've had them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Good man. Just double checking, mate. I don't know. You do live in fucking Port Talbot. It's not like there's a lot of jobs going around. And, I'm sure people who watch the video have had them. And, we all agree that when you're put in this little box of having to work 8 hours a day in exchange for, what probably isn't a fair amount of money for the work you do, and it's very boring and monotonous, and you don't have any autonomy, people will try and break away from that and have more freedom. So there's that as well. And then, of course, ultimately, a lot of people like to have an audience. It's nice to have an audience. It makes you feel important. When I do these YouTube videos, I guess I could not do these. I like doing it, though. I actually like addressing people. I like that people give a fuck about my opinion. I don't mind saying it. I enjoy doing this, and because it's nice to be the guy that delivers messages like this one. It's nice to be important within our own little circle, right? Like, I don't mind saying that. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. So these people don't ever admit this, and they always try and frame it like, oh, it's just my passion, and I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for all of the love. It's never about the love. And especially with these Call of Duty guys, we prove time and time again it's not about the love. So BiblicalReaper has been doing this YouTube thing for a while, and he's going somewhere slowly but surely. Like on his Twitter, he's got like 50,000 followers, but that's not really a big deal. He's got over 100,000 subscribers, blah blah blah. He's looking 158,000 subscribers, I think. So he's looking to kind of like break through into that next level where maybe YouTube can really start paying off. And he seems to be like quite a relatively likable fellow. He's got that down-to-earth kind of feel to him. But, of course, there's more than meets the eye to this chap. And he ran a GoFundMe. And basically what happened was he started talking about how he's growing his own YouTube channel, and he's got an illness that has, first of all, pushed him out of work, and second of all, makes it very hard for him to do his current YouTube stuff. And that makes it hard for him, be productive and therefore make money, and there's medical bills and blah, blah, blah. So he wants a $10,000 cash injection just to help him get over the hump. Now, I'm guessing you've got the GoFundMe page up, have you, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent work. So I'll just read you what he put here. And it says, my name is Michael, or BiblicalReaper, as most of you know me as. I developed sarcoidosis, and I only know sarcoidosis from House.
What, is that what Dr. House has?
No. Dr. House, it's just one of the diseases that always get thrown around.
Oh, okay.
we know when they do the initial, because obviously House is a load of formulaic bullshit.
Yeah.
So obviously they do that first act where patient that House doesn't want to treat, but then gets intrigued by his crazy symptoms.
Yeah.
They do the initial diagnosis and they throw around diseases. There's like lupus in there, right? All the classics.
Yeah.
But then sarcoidosis is one of them.
Is there?
Yeah, it's always, honestly, anyone who's watched...
That was on the list.
Yeah, anyone who's watched House, anyone who's had the grave misfortune to have watched the mind-numbing disgrace that is House, which basically is held up by a man with a terrible American accent. I'm pretty sure it terrible. Yeah, you fucking joik. I diagnosed you, you joik. Cup of coffee, you joik. What a joik. It's just a load of shit, isn't it? Honestly. Always the same thing, all of the time. Initial diagnosis, they're wrong. Then they fucking do another diagnosis. You get, and then they're wrong, but actually they were right before, back with the thing House said at the beginning, but they just did it a bit wrong, and there was actually 2 illnesses at once. Fuck off. It's just garbage, isn't it? Anyway, so that's where I know sarcoidosis from, and I don't know a lot about it, right, honestly, because as you can probably tell by my assessment of House, I'm not a great medical mind, like Dr. House obviously is. You joik. But he said he's had it for 3 years. And he provides proof of this on the GoFundMe. And he says, in February, I lost my job due to my illness. Although they used a different excuse, the reason was truly because of time missed, even was covered under FMLA. And I've been doing just YouTube. My saved funds have run dry, and I just need to help cover my bills until January so I can take care of my child and have a roof over our heads. And again, so now you bring the child into the picture, right? Like I've got people who are dependent on me. I've never been in a position in my life where I was worried about funds, and this is the most embarrassing thing I possibly have ever done. And, I understand this as well. Like, when I first saw this and got linked to it, I was like, yeah, it is tough, as a grown man, to have to basically beg to a community of people who support your work and say, look, I'm at the end of my fucking rope. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need you guys to prop me up, and a lot of you are children by comparison. A lot of you don't have the life experience, the work experience. So hopefully the community in which I love will be able to help me in my darkest days. Once again, I'm sorry for asking for help, and as any other human, I am embarrassed that I have even to do this. Please find it in your hearts to understand. Thank you so much for considering Reaper. The money will be used to help pay rent, cable, electric, food, and daily items needed. With these donations, these donations are from people who support me and my content. If anyone that has donated wishes a refund, you can file directly through here, blah, blah, blah. So help spread the word. So on the surface of it, it seems pretty acceptable, right? But there is an accompanying video. And I don't know how much of it you want to play.
So this is...
I guess the first 2 minutes should about do it. Because while we're talking about shit formulaic TV like House, right? This video is pretty shit formulaic in and of itself. So I don't know if you want to just run the first 2 minutes there. All right, sound.
Probably the absolute hardest video I've ever had to make on my channel. I wasn't ever expecting to make this video. Before we get into what I'm doing, I want to take a second and tell you guys a little bit about my story. Some of you may already know it, some of you may not. I worked for a major corporation for the past 8 years before I went YouTube full time. And about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It's an autoimmune disease. It doesn't make you feel good a lot of times. It's a very nasty autoimmune disease. Some people go into remission from it. Some people have it their whole lives. Well, while working this job for 8 years, I made good money. And I'll be honest, 100% upfront and honest with you. I made $80,000 to $100,000 a year. And during that time, I was doing YouTube full time as well, in the hopes of getting to the point where I could do YouTube as a living. I've never been so passionate, never had so much fun as doing YouTube. It's a great platform, but it has its ups and downs. It's hard for some. It comes natural to some. But regardless, if you do YouTube, you have a passion for it. You don't do it just for the money. You don't do it just for any reason. But I've always had the dream of doing it for a living. In February, I lost my job. And the reason I lost my job is because I was missing too much work. The reason I was missing too much work is because I was sick. I would call off days. Even though I was under FMLA, they found a way to remove me. Even though I was one of the best at what I did. Companies don't like you when you...
So there you have it. Yeah, I'll spare you the rest. I mean, first up as well, I gotta say, just as well this guy isn't an actor.
The past 6 months...
I mean, like,
great,
that
right?
is some of the most fucked up
It's so
porn.
difficult, man.
It's unreal, isn't it? It's unreal, and I just don't understand, you know, kind of, like, maybe you don't need to try and cry in the video. Maybe you don't need to put emotional music in it. I mean, this is like textbook manipulative shit, right? Like, because, you know,
right now, where we're at-
whatever we say about people, we are pretty fucking, you know, we're all compassionate on a core level. We can all empathize with people, and just that, like, stir music.
I know, giving himself his own sad music.
Yeah, like, who does that? Get someone else to do
Edit
it
in
for
your
you.
own music.
Yeah, right. And, you know, like, I just picture him sat there with his huge editing suite you can see in the background. Just like, what level of sadness do we go for? This level one? I don't know. Maybe we can add a cello in there. No, I'll stick with one. Just the violins. Don't want to overdo it. Fucking come on, mate. And as for the, I just want to get, bye. Fuck up. You know what I mean? Come on, mate. No one cries like that. It's fucking ridiculous. So, you know, like, perhaps, again, the video was ill thought out. And a lot of you, right, at this point, are going to be like, fucking hell, Richard, this is a bit much, innit? You completely wrecking this guy for no fucking reason. He's got sarcoidosis. Haven't you watched House? All right, listen, mate. Sarcoidosis obviously is, you know, not a good thing to have. Sucks that the dude's ill, right?
I don't even
Like,
know what it is, to be honest.
well, look, mate. Right,
Do you?
yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything wrong though. Like, in case it's like, no, you got that completely wrong, Richard. It's you get fucking stuff in your lungs and lymph nodes and eyes, like
Yeah, basically you just fucked in the lungs.
yeah, no, it's you get these things called granulomas or something,
Okay.
and it's like it's an autoimmune disease basically.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what he repeatedly says in the video. So basically, it's like where your body just turns on itself, you know, like gross gore.
It's his fucking nose.
Yeah, it's this fucking nose. Hey, this better be a serious video, this. I mean, going wild today. What's up with you? You've been starved of company. You've gone fucking wild. So anyway, yeah, sarcoidosis. It's an autoimmune disease, basically. Your body turns on itself. You get built, you know, you get shit in your lungs, shit in your eyes. You can go all over the place. It's not nice, right? So, you know, so I think we can agree
Not
with
sound.
that. But I'm not wrecking him because he's sick, because that definitely sucks, right? And good on him for, you know, struggling through and all that. Here's why I'm wrecking him. Because he's asking for these donations, for this money from people, again, we know repeatedly who the audience is in Call of Duty. It's these young kids. And then a few people started digging. Guys like Honor the Call started digging. People started digging, and they went through his Twitter feed. So let's have a look at this. Right? This tweet here. First one. Bump. He's fucking talking about how he's just got himself a brand new iPhone. He's included there the fucking picture of him ordering it. And it's a brand new iPhone 7, which the reviews haven't been good for them, have they?
Yeah, they've only just been announced.
Yeah. So...
Thing is, you didn't even have to dig this hard. This is on the 9th of September this month.
Yeah.
He's just not
It's what I mean.
asked.
Right, so think about when, right? So he's ordering a brand new fucking 256 gigabyte iPhone 7 in black.
Over
Right.
$1,000.
Yeah, over $1,000. And that was on the 9th of September. And this Kickstarter happened like 3 days ago. This GoFundMe happened 3 days ago. On the 11th of September. Say no more. So, fine. All right. But Richard, maybe he needs that phone so we can call the doctor. All right. Okay. Good point. Then you go back, August. A Sony RX100 4 Cybershot camera. And he's saying it's back. Should have stayed with it the first time. So he's obviously had something in the interim period.
Yeah.
Now, that's a pretty nice camera, Sam.
Yeah, it's good.
How much is it?
Let's find out.
I'm looking at a website here, $500. No, $1,000. Another grand.
Yeah, £829.
He's had $1,000. So he's just bought himself, Cybershot camera.
Grand.
Should have stayed with this one. I tried another one, but it's back in my life. $1,000. Another grand, right? So, okay, no problem. And it's just like this if you go through, and people looked into more of his stuff. They found that, like, he's driving a fucking Merc. He's driving a Mercedes car, right? And if you also look, let me find this tweet as well. Obviously this guy's a collector of certain types of gaming, paraphernalia, and he has like one of the old
Mortal
Kombat machines by Midway in his house, right? Like, and he's bragging about it, like, hey, look at this. This is in my garage, right? One of the old, Williams machines. So. Again, they are collector's items. That's fine. You definitely, deserve to have accumulated things. Nobody's saying that. But if you're having a medical crisis and you've got bills to pay and you've got a kid, I don't know about you, Sam, but what I would probably do is I'd think about having a car boot sale.
Yeah, start selling
out
some
of
shit.
my fucking Merc. Yeah, I'd take all of that stuff. I'd put it in a Merc. I'd drive down to a car boot sale, right? And I would sell it out of the back of the best car in that car boot sale. And I might also sell the fucking car. Because it's a medical emergency, and you're talking about how you might not be able to keep the lights on or keep the roof over the head, and you've got a kid. So who in their right mind would go down this begging route first? That's the real question here. And the fact is that he hasn't even considered it. He literally hasn't even considered that the perception of buying a brand new iPhone 7 on the 9th of September and then begging for 10 grand 2 days later. He hasn't even, the cogs haven't even turned in his fat head. That people might not like this. People might be upset by this. People might find this egregious. And for me, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can lack that common sense. Now, after this came out and people started highlighting, all of these things, what did he do? He went on damage control. He did a video. His excuse for this, mate, was, because I used to make so much money before, I just never got out of that gear. I just carried on with my spending as if I was still making that money.
Just lived way above my means, and now I need you to pay for it.
Now, here's what I will say. A lot of celebrities do that, actually. A lot of sports stars do that, post-retirement. That's why so many of them go bust, bankrupt. But that's what happens. They go bust and they go bankrupt, right? Like, you pay the piper, you pay the price. That is how it works. I saw a lot of people complaining, saying you should have some savings. Absolutely not necessarily. Some of us live for today. We don't really think about the future. I wouldn't say I've got a lot of money saved up. I like to fucking spend it. I like to go ham, right? But I'm definitely not going to be fucking going ham and then being, hang on a minute, I have got those fucking granulomas eating my lungs away. might want to do something about that. Right? Oh, I'll just do a GoFundMe, yeah. Like, at that point, it becomes an inexcusable way to behave, And this is a grown man. This is an older guy. This isn't like some young, naive YouTuber that, like, at age 20 came into a load of money and by age 21 was like, fuck, I've lost it all. And he has to go on and do a GoFundMe. This is a guy who's had some life experience. And again, if you just look in the background on that fucking video, the one with the violins, he's got fucking, 3 monitors, 3 PCs. Like, come on, dude. Like, you're not even trying to hide it. Like, at least put on, like, I don't know, a fucking Hessian sack, right? You know what I mean? And have, like, a bag of cold chips with, like, flies buzzing around it in the background.
Yeah, don't film it in a room that's worth more than some people's houses.
Have someone sat in the corner just coughing up a lung with cholera. Like, help me. Like, make it more convincing. Don't be, like, surrounded by fucking opulence. They're like, I just don't know where my next penny's coming from. Sell some of that.
You got $1,000 in monitors.
Sell it. Yeah, exactly. The thing that's fucked up is that if he sold all the equipment up to purpose, because you don't need a mad setup to be a fucking YouTuber, especially not the kind of videos he's doing. You don't need all of that, right? Like, you know, look at the setup I've got here. Like, I don't even have my 2 monitors set up here. You know what I mean? I'm doing all right. I'm making videos. They're making money. You downsize, right? You know what I mean? Not much. We give it to Sam. 50%. Right?
I'll be having my half.
Yeah, be having my half. Yeah, we only made £10.
That's a pint.
I want my private. You know what I mean? You downsize. But he just hasn't done that. And he didn't even think to do that first. Like, if he'd done that and been like, oh, guys, you know, the quality of my videos, it's been so bad lately because I've had to downsize, because I've had to sell all my shit because I'm losing. If he'd done that, no. And then just come out and be like, yeah, all right, I'm human, I fucked up. I'm just sick of that excuse, by the way. Can I just put that out there? I'm just sick of that excuse. I'm human, I fucked up. Yeah, okay, cool. Humans fuck up. Humans do crazy shit. But why is it that the mental thought process that you did fuck up, why did you only arrive at that conclusion? Not before, not during, but at the peak of the scandal. That's when you have the revelation. When you got maximum negative attention, that's when you realize, yeah, I might have fucked up here. Brilliant. Great now. It's good to realize now. Do you know what I mean? It's just why you don't do anything fucking important. You know, being a surgeon, yeah, hold on, mate. Just, yeah, keep them clamps in. keep her open. I've got to take this, mate. It's
taking out the wrong bloody kidney.
Yeah, I've got to take this. It's my missus. She'll be fine. 5 minutes. Right. Eek. Bloody, I think I fucked up there. Only bloody human, no. Like, come on. Get with the fucking picture. This is basic shit. People do not like greed. In times of austerity, when people are literally having to work harder and harder and longer than they ever have, right, to make less and less with less fucking benefits, the people who support your content should be the last people that you ever fucking betray, right? Like, just don't fucking do it, right? They are the only thing between you and the mundane life you have tried to escape from, right? Doesn't mean they're always nice guys. Doesn't mean there's not arseholes involved. But at the end of the day, once you start latching onto them like a fucking overweight, balding vampire bat, just draining them of fucking blood, guess what happens? All sympathy goes. The story isn't it bad Biblical Reaper's got an illness? Now it's what a fucking prize A cunt he was for trying to rinse everybody. And this is just basic shit. Like, maybe you all need PR guys. I don't know. But this level of greed is fucking unacceptable. It just isn't acceptable, right? So at the end of the day, I'm glad to see his fucking GoFundMe is stalled. I don't care if it's for a fucking noble cause. Get your fucking shit sold. You've made $3,000, which you're going to be allowed to keep in good faith, unless, of course, people are applying for fucking refunds. And it comes to something when Keemstar, who gave you $500 out of his pocket and didn't really make a big deal about it, because, you know, Keemstar isn't Satan, like people like to think he is, right? He fucking gave you $500, then he demands it back publicly, making you look like an even bigger douchebag. So I'm sorry you got sarcoidosis, right? I'm sorry that Dr. House isn't there to diagnose you with 5 other things and then realize it was sarcoidosis all along. I'm sad about that. But this is just ridiculous. You cannot live in luxury, having all of this equipment, and not sell it, and then say, oh, but my kid, and bring your kid into it. Fuck you, honestly. And just as a final point, which didn't come up in On the Calls video, at least I don't recall if it did, and I don't think it came up in any of the other videos that were made about him as well. Biblical Reaper, he's only an affiliate for our favourite pyramid scheme. Bring that tweet up. I joined United Games as a affiliate, and I'm giving not an affiliate, and I'm giving free codes to download the app when it comes out. Who wants one? Please fucking have one. And he's paying for that.
Have a gamble.
He's paying to be an affiliate because that's how it works. That's how the pyramid scheme works. And I'm not even going to call it multi-layer marketing anymore. Fuck your pyramid scheme. I've had enough. It's bullshit. Ponds. Yeah, just fuck them, sue me. Fuck them. So there you go. He's basically just shameless, isn't he? And that's what it all comes down to. The gift of shame. You know, people should have a little bit of fucking pride. Take pride in what you do. Treat people right. And when things are bad, you know, like look to your own solutions. Try and fix your problems first before you go begging for help from people who might not even be able to afford to help you anyway. Hiding behind the excuse of, oh, but I asked, doesn't really fucking excuse you. You know, oh, I asked and you gave it. People are giving it in good faith. That there's an assumption that there is no other recourse for you right now. There's nothing else you can do. And of course, that's not true. You've had a fucking lend. I don't know how you can take that $3,000 even. I think personally you should fucking close it down, give it all back, and just fucking apologize and just hope people forget about this. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. Anyway, that's the end of that video. Keep an eye out for Biblical Reaper's content. And obviously, me and Sam would just like to say, join United game. No. We'll see you on the next video.